I think one of the great things about humans is our ability to be flexible. Change happens whether we want it, whether we don't. I also think that we are allowed second chances. And sometimes we need to press that reset button. If you're wondering how to do so, well, guess what? That's what we're covering this week on The Well of Inspiration. It's that time of the week where the Well of Inspiration and the Cradle of Life come together to bring you motivational content. On the other side of things, Wellington. Hi, Wellington, and how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Don. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. One of those days where I've got a bit of the sniffles, but nothing that we cannot deal with.
You're a strong girl. You can handle this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let us let the audience know today what we're talking about on the Well of Inspiration.
You know what? I want us to get to have a conversation about pressing the reset button. I'm sure all of us, we've at some point or another in our lives, we've come to a crossroads, a place where we've had to sit back and look at our lives and really consider our options, whether to go right or left, and sometimes whether to go backwards in order to then launch again. This is a place that I call the place where we need to press the reset button. You know, when we get to this place, my friend, when I look at it, I consider that the reset button that we have in our lives is actually our empowerment button. It is the place, that opportunity that is given to us to really look at everything and launch again, no matter what happens with the circumstances. You see, sometimes from our lives, we can learn a lot more by looking back at what has happened, especially when things have gone wrong, by looking back, analyzing, understanding, and then relaunching. So that's why I think today we want to have this conversation to consider what we call the reset button, where at some point in your life you might want to press the reset button, or maybe you're going through certain things right now and you think the right thing for you to do might just be to press that reset button.
All right, Wellington, I'm loving this episode for today, pressing the reset button. And I think a lot of us, wonder if we're actually allowed to press that reset button. For those who, have a chance to do so, this is the episode that you need to really pay attention to with Wellington. I'll let you take it over, Wellington.
You know what? Every single day, we go through bends. It's like we're driving a car and we're going through situations where we come across unexpected corners. You see, when I first came into Seychelles, it was very difficult for me to drive because I had to figure out how to navigate around the difficult corners going uphill and going downhill. It was not so easy. But here's the thing. When you know a corner that you're approaching, you know exactly what the right braking point is. You know how to lean the car one direction or the other in order for you to be able to navigate the turn without much of a challenge. Why? Because you know the corner. But my friends, sometimes life throws at us corners that we've never seen, corners we've never experienced, opportunities or challenges that we did not see coming. And when these come around, we are given the challenge, but I consider it the opportunity to now see how to navigate. One beautiful thing about getting into unexpected situations is that it's only unexpected the first time. And sometimes when you have to press the reset button, it means that you've come across something difficult, unexpected, unforeseen, and while trying to navigate, you didn't do it the right way. And then you tumble. When you do tumble, that's an opportunity to reimagine how to approach that situation again. That's what I think is all about, taking an unexpected corner while you are pressing the reset button. The reset button might be the thing you need to do for you to come back and take that corner with a lot more confidence, a lot more wisdom, and a lot more understanding.
Wellington, I like the way you say it's only unexpected the first time. After that, you know what to expect. You know where you need to go. So sometimes that challenge is absolutely fantastic. And it's a good opportunity for you to grow, for you to learn, for you to be able to navigate better.
You see, when it's time for you to press the reset button, it might mean your life coming to a complete halt, to a screeching halt, where you have to stop for a moment. Think, find the right path, or look for the right path. Rediscover yourself, rediscover what you are made to be, who you are supposed to be in this world. And then that allows you to relaunch yourself into the life that you've chosen for yourself as an individual. You see, one thing I want you to remember is that when you choose to press the reset button, many times you are faced with resistance. It might be resistance coming from external forces, but the resistance that concerns me the most is the resistance that comes from within, where your mindset has been set in a particular way, but now you've got to sit back and reconfigure your mindset to think differently and approach things differently. Your 5-year plan, well crafted, documented, ready, and you are executing it, and then things go wrong. You now have to go back and redo that plan. Your financial goals, you were making real good progress, but then you encounter a setback. You've got to go back and rethink your strategy and maybe start from the very beginning. You have come to a place of pressing the reset button, a place that I call the pivot point, where you now have to understand that change needs to happen to your plan, change needs to happen to your approach, change needs to happen even to the tools that you use, sometimes even to the people that are helping you towards your goals and your dreams. You've got to appreciate the pivot and move towards the goals and your dreams that you want to achieve in a slightly adjusted way. It is called the power of the pivot. But when you think about it, there was a time back in the day when I used to be in the field of accounting, in management accounting, and we had something called the rolling forecast. So the rolling forecast was a budget that you do at the beginning of the year, but as you go through the year, you keep adjusting the numbers on the basis of actual performance. So if you do January, you take the actual performance of January and use that to reconfigure how you're going to do at the end of the year. And you continue doing that until the year comes to an end. What this, my friend, teaches us is that your plan has got to continuously be in motion. Keep your plan under the mold. When you make your plans, when you strategically plan yourself, I encourage you, my friend, to leave some room, some breathing space to allow an adjustment of your plans, because sometimes because of circumstances, because of things you did not expect, because of those corners and those bends that I spoke about earlier on, you may have to press the reset button and you can relaunch in an adjusted position. You may have to change your focus. You may have to change your targets. You may have to change your timelines. Sometimes you may have to change the people that you're working with in order to achieve your goals. It is all about pressing the reset button, understanding the pivot, and indeed keeping your plan in motion.
Absolutely love this, Wellington. I love the way you're breaking it down, and I love the way you're saying, you have to keep that plan in motion. You have to keep it going. You have to make sure that you see it through. Things may not happen the way you want it to happen, but you just have to push yourself and see it through. Keep that plan in motion. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is The Well of Inspiration. Welcome back to the Well of Inspiration. Today, it's all about pressing the reset button. And Wellington has told you your personal empowerment button is actually the reset button. Now, he's spoken about different things about the reset button. We started off with, the unexpected corners that will come about in your life through those reset buttons that you have to press. And he says the only thing about it, the best thing about it actually, is the fact that once you go through that corner, it's only unexpected once. Once you've already done it, you know what to expect from that point. He's also going to talk about the power of the pivot, and he moved on to talk about the plan of motion, or the plan in motion rather. Wellington, what else is up for grabs today with this episode as we talk about pressing the reset button?
Okay, so in order for you to press the reset button, you've got to first understand where you are. That is why I say that when life is audited, performance improves. How do you audit your life? You look at where you are, understand in detail where you are, how you got there, and then figure out how to move forwards. This is not so easy for many of us because at this point, you've got to ask yourself the difficult questions. What is right? What have I done well so far? What could I have done better? What went wrong? Where did I make a mistake? Where did I make the wrong choice? What can I do to move on from here? And then you track your performance so that you see whether you were on an upward trajectory or on a downward trajectory. Were you making progress or were you stagnant? Were you with the right people or were you not with the right people? Once you give yourself the honest answers to these questions, by the way, this is a conversation you have with yourself. And when you speak to yourself, my friends, I encourage you to be as honest as you can, because the most intelligent, most important conversation you will ever have in your life is the conversations you have with yourself. Audit your life, understand where you are, and then think about moving forwards from there.
I love this, Wellington, the way you say audit your life. And when we think of the word audit, we think about a bank. But I like the way you say it, It's absolutely fantastic, when you actually put yourself in that position, when you say, what went wrong, what went right, what can you do about it? How do you move forward with it? Talk to yourself. Question yourself.
Talk to yourself indeed. And when you do this, do it at the point where you're feeling like you've been defeated or things are not going well or things are not going in the direction you want them to go. But then you might also want to consider doing this often, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, just looking at your life, seeing where you're going. Are you happy with where you are? What can you do differently? And when things crash and you make the wrong choices, sit down and look back and see what you could have done better. And when you understand that, my friend, you can set forward progressively with much better wisdom, much better understanding. Okay? Now, when we talk about pressing the reset button, it's always good for us to be able to do this practically. Because, speaking concepts and ideas may sometimes just be nice to listen to. When you go back to your real life, implementing this might not be so easy. That is why I want to give you a few suggestions that you might consider when you look at your life and think about what you can do going forward as you press the reset button. And the first thing I would like you to consider, my friends, is just understanding that the past is gone and look forward to the future and move into the future with confidence. It is a fool's errand to try and walk into the future carrying the baggage from the past. Let the past inform you. Failure is informative. Challenges are informative. Let them inform you, but let them teach you the best ways to go forward, because when you learn, you move a little bit wiser as you move into the next level of your life.
And I think I can say this, Wellington, a lot of us tend to carry our past with us. We tend to carry past mistakes. You tend to carry, past things that you might have done, and you put it on your shoulder and you walk with it. And, it gets heavier as you move forward into the future. We are only present for a little time and we're constantly moving into the future. And a lot of us find it difficult to let this go. It's something that is necessary for you to move to the future. You've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. There's so many things that we've done as individuals that I think we need to learn from and use it to be able to propel us. Let go of it, use it to propel you, and move into the future without that baggage.
100%, you got it right, Dawn. And the other thing that I think I want to suggest is, as we go through life, especially when you're ambitious and you want to achieve many great things, so many unessential things get attached to you. If you want to press the reset button, you've got to look at your life and see what is essential and what is not essential. Once you understand that, get rid of what is not essential. Keep only that which you need. What this means is that you might have to look around you and see some activities that you spend time with that are not adding value to you. Some people that you're spending time with that are no longer adding value to you. You might have to get rid of those things. You might have to look at yourself and see where your mind is spending time and see what you need to get rid of so that you can focus on what is important for you. When I speak about this always, one thing that comes to mind is our mobile phones. They are so good and so important and so useful, but they can also be such a massive distraction. You've got to be able to look at your devices and get rid of the things you don't need. Look at your phone, get rid of the apps and the messages and the notifications that keep distracting you from achieving your goals and your dreams. When you do this, you are clearing up the space and opening up the pathway for you to be able to launch the minute you press your reset button to now get on and do what you have to do.
Absolutely. You're getting rid of all the distractions that you don't really need in place there.
100%. So the other thing to think about is your goals. Now that you are at a crossroads, now that you are rethinking your life and rethinking the opportunities, all the challenges that you're facing, it may also be time for you to relook at your goals and reconnect with your purpose. You see, our goals are designed to align with our purpose. If our goals are not aligned with our purpose, we live our lives conflicted. At the point of a crossroads is the right time to realign your goals to your purpose. That is why I'm suggesting to you, my friends, that as we talk about pressing the reset button, think about your life and relook at your goals, and it may be necessary for you to set new goals, realign to your purpose, and begin your journey once again.
Wellington, like with everything that you talk about on the Well of Inspiration, there's a process to it. You start somewhere, you have to go through, you have to, get through the different stages. And I think a lot of people find it difficult to go through those stages. But I honestly feel after all the episodes that we've done together, that if you push through those different stages, the hard stages, like letting go of the past, like, letting go of all those things that are unnecessary for us, like focusing on what is our goals and reconnecting, those things, if we can push with them, we can actually move forward with pressing that reset button and doing it the right way.
Certainly, Don. And when you've set new goals, now you are re-energized, right? You're re-energized. You can now look at things differently, and your approach to everything is kind of reconfigured. You've got new energy. You can move on. You can power through with even more confidence. But the other thing that you can also think about is taking action. Now, when you take action, what it means is changing your course based on the decision you've made, based on resetting yourself or resetting your situation. Understand that you've got to start as soon as possible. I say start today. If it means you've got to start making some phone calls, do it today. If it means you've got to sit down and write something, do it today. Take the steps that you need to take, but don't wait until tomorrow. Do it today while you are energized, while your mind is in the right place, while you are, while the pain of the failure is still fresh. Take the steps. Make decisions. Move. Because when you do that, my friend, you begin to build momentum. And when you build momentum, that momentum is what will push you towards your goals and your dreams, despite whatever challenges might come your way. So it is a good time for you to change course, but do so as immediately as you can, because every challenge you get across in your life is a challenge that needs you to take action. Take action, my friends.
Wellington, there's one thing you just said in there is pain of failure is fresh. So do it while the pain of your failure is fresh. And I think for a lot of people, this is so true. When we go through pain, when we go through different difficulties, at that moment in time, for a lot of people, I know a lot of artists as well, musicians, they write the best music when they're in the most broken situation or in the most difficult situations of their lives. And I think that is one thing that a lot of people can use. When you're in that painful moment, that failure stage, that is a place where you look at yourself and you say, where do I want to go? How do I want to do it? Where do I want to be? How many changes do I have to make? Because when you fail, especially for me as a person, as Dawn speaking, when I fail, I look at myself and I tell myself, I can't stay here. I don't want to stay here. I need to do what I need to do to get out of here. So I love that saying is, the way you said it, use the pain of failures while it's still fresh. Use that pain while it's fresh, because once it starts disappearing, you start getting comfortable, and you start just sitting back in that same space where you were and allow things to consume you and overload you. Unlike when it's fresh, it's painful, it's hard, it's difficult, but you want to go through it.
The beauty of failure, the beauty of the pain you're referring to, Dawn, is the discomfort that it gives you. Our biggest challenge as individuals is comfort. We become complacent when we are comfortable. We don't take action when we're comfortable because we are fearful of losing that comfort. But when you've lost the comfort anyway, and the situation is calling on you to do something, you don't have a choice in that moment. That's why I say, take the action as quickly as you can. And then another advice I can give you is, take the smallest step that you can in that moment. If you wait and plan too much and start planning for the big step and the big goal and the big achievement, it might get overwhelming at some point. And then you begin to procrastinate. And then you roll back into the comfort zone. And then you start looking for those comfortable corners that you know already how to navigate. But in the moment when you're fresh, hot, and everything is just beating on you, take the first step in the new direction that you have figured out after relooking at your life, auditing yourself, and just pressing that reset button. Take the lowest hanging fruit you can get, go for it. If it's writing, sit down and write one paragraph. If you're a musician, play a tune just for 1 minute. If it's starting a business, sit down and write the idea and start thinking about it. If it's somebody you have to make a phone call to, make the phone call in that moment, because in that moment, you are now harnessing the power that you already have towards the goals and the dreams that you are identifying that are good for you and that add value to your life and to the lives of those that you love. That is what happens when you press the reset button, Dawn.
I love it, Wellington. I think also while you were busy talking about, all those different things, I thought to myself, when you press a reset button, which is something we at the Cradle of Life did a year ago, when we press a reset button, the one thing I think you learned the most, or what I've learned the most, is it takes time. It takes a lot of time. But the one thing that should never change is the focus and the motivation and the movement and the continual growth. It takes time. Sometimes it does not happen within the first few months. It takes time, and you do get different things that come into your life that challenge you and make you question, did I make the right decision? But if you keep remembering that it takes time, push through it, you will actually get there. That reset button that you're pressing will actually be the right one, and you'll actually go a long way because you understand that it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight.
You've got to fall in love with the process, because your success does not just come at the end when you've achieved what you want to achieve. Your success is in the successful days that you go through making small little steps day by day, making progress towards your goal. As you make the progress, you are achieving success. You don't wait to achieve success. So as you guys work on your business or as you deal with whatever challenges you're dealing with, begin small and start moving bit by bit. And every little success that you achieve, celebrate it. Embrace it, because that is where the real beauty of success comes. It doesn't come at the end. When the end comes, remember, you now have to figure out what else to do because the joy is no longer there. But as you work and build and progress, that, my friend, is the real juice of a success story.
Love it, Wellington. Absolutely love this. Thank you so much for today's episode. For those who are watching and those who might have questions about the reset button, pressing that reset button, comment below. Wellington will get back to you. The Cradle of Life will get back to you. Let's have a conversation. If you think somebody needs to watch this episode, they need to reset their lives, share it with them. Let them see what Wellington has said today in today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And don't forget as well to check out Wellington's page. He does have a website as well. That is www.wellofinspiration.com. He has a Facebook page, Well of Inspiration, as well as Instagram. Get in touch with us. Let us connect. Whatever you may be going through, if you feel like you need to change your life, if you feel like you're in a place where you need a different environment, where you need something different in your life to grow, to expand, get in touch with us. Let Wellington be that guide for you because he is a great guide. As you can see, if you've watched any of the episodes of the Well of Inspiration, he is an absolutely fantastic motivational speaker, and he will walk you through, he will guide you. That is what he does. That is who Wellington is. Wellington, thank you so much for today.
It's my pleasure, Don. Thank you very much. And let's just remind everybody that the Well of Inspiration is a place where we come to share information, ideas, and strategies that can help to take your lives, your businesses, your careers, and even your relationships to the next level of success.
Absolutely. Wellington, until next time, it's been a blast. For those, like I said, who are watching today, please hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of empowerment. Asante, Wellington.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.